Hello my beautiful beings and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another wig video. I'm going to be doing a video on how to take this synthetic wig. It's just a normal lace front wig and I'm going to put it up in a high ponytail. Putting regular lace front wigs up in ponytails isn't the easiest and not many people know how to do it. So I figured I'd go ahead and make a video for it. I have gotten questions in the past on how I do put my wigs up in a ponytail. I do have some older photos of me wearing my synthetic wigs and my human hair wigs up in ponytails and buns. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little video to help others that don't know how to do it. And this wig is from Uniwigs. I've done a video on this already. I have a code. I will put the code again in this video. If you've not seen my recent video on this wig and the review I did, I'll link that down below too. I'm really loving this wig so far. I've worn it a few times besides that video, and the hair, as you can see, is still just super soft and very shiny still. I haven't gotten any knots or anything yet, which is really rare for synthetic wigs, at least the ones I've worn. I think it's a really beautiful, high quality wig so far, and I'm gonna see how it does with putting it up in a ponytail. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that video right now. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do before you put the wig up in a ponytail is you're gonna have to secure the wig to the wig head. I already have one pin here in the middle, but I'm gonna put a good amount of other pins throughout the front of the lace. That way the wig is secure when I want to put it up and there's no bends or folds anywhere in the lace while I'm putting it up. And I want to try and make sure that I don't get as many hair pieces as possible. I want to just try and focus on pinning that pin to the lace. Now that the front is all pinned up and it's not going anywhere and the lace is nice and pinned down flat and there's no bunching or anything, we're going to start by taking this and we're going to kind of put it up in a quick ponytail. That way it can start pinning up the back of this wig. So I'm just gonna come in, do a quick ponytail, nothing crazy. I'm gonna take one of my clips and pull this back. And I'm just gonna keep the hair back while I pin this portion of the wig down. Because what happens is when you pull it up into a ponytail and this is not secure, it's just going to bring all of that fabric up. And then when you try and put your wig on, the back of the neck is going to be all the way up here instead of where it should be laying flat up against the back of your neck. So I'm going to make sure that the back of this wig is right against the nape of my wig head. And I'm going to pin it there like that. And I usually pin it down in a downward direction instead of straight into it. Because when I pin it straight into the wig like this, it tends to pull with the hair when I pull it up into a wig or up into a ponytail. But when I pin it in a diagonal like this, it'll stay even when I'm pulling the hair up. And I'm going to use a few more of these around the back of the wig. That way it's really secure for when I put it up. Now, one of the problems that people run into when they're putting up lace front wigs is that there is a difference between the wefts in this hair and the lace front in this hair. And sometimes when you try and put it all into one big ponytail, it'll look kind of weird because the wefts will get all bunched up and then the hair will not be too smooth at the top where the lace is. So what I like to do is I'll break my ponytail in 2 parts. So what I first do is I'll find where my lace is, where it ends, and I'll separate all of that from where the wefting is. Okay, so I have this all parted out now, and if I can get this off the headstand, this is what I'm talking about. So if you can see, if it'll focus, here is lace. It's all just lace. It's all gonna make it look a little bit more real slick. And then here is all your wefting. Now there's a big band where that all meets. So I am parting it out. I'm making sure anything behind that band will be in my first ponytail, and then anything in front of it where all the lace is going to be a second part of my ponytail. That way I can focus on the different parts of the wig, and then it'll all come out a little bit smoother when I put it up in a ponytail. Oh, and I put a little rag on this, the headstand, so that it doesn't wobble as much. Sometimes the peg on the stand isn't big enough, or the wig head is too big on the hole, and it will wobble around. So I usually put a rag there, and it won't move around as much. So now I'm gonna focus on this first ponytail. I'm just gonna start by pulling the hair up. And as I pull it up, I'm gonna take my comb, I'm just gonna smooth everything out. And don't be too worried about things showing the side right now. At the end I kind of pull a little bit so that way it doesn't show. Now that everything is smoothed out enough for me, I'm gonna start putting it up in a ponytail. Making sure that everything is tight down to the wig head before I secure it. And I want to make sure to get it as tight as possible. Okay, now that my first ponytail is secure, I'm going to start moving on to my next one. And I'm pretty much just smoothing the front of the wig into this next one, and I'm going to connect them. And it'll pretty much be like that. So I'm just going to smooth this out, and then I'm going to tie these together, and then it'll equal my full ponytail. I'm also going to leave out a little bit of hair. If you have a wig where it's plucked really well and it kind of looks, you know, it has a good amount of lace, it's plucked really well, it looks like an actual hairline, you don't have to leave any hair out. But because it doesn't look very realistic to a hairline because the hair is so thick in the front, I'm going to leave a few pieces out. That way I can kind of make it look like baby hairs. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling out a few of these hairs. Like that. And then I'll make it look a little more realistic around the hairline once I cut them shorter. Alright, and then to connect these two together, I'm going to take a big scrunchie and I'm just going to pull them together. That way it kind of hides the other ponytail that we made. And it'll just bring it all together to give it some extra height and volume. And then that's it for this part. I'm going to go put it on and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm back and my wig is installed. I did have to move it around a little bit when I did install it. Like, I start by gluing down the front right here on the forehead first. And then if I feel like this is not coming down far enough, I just slowly tug on the sides of the lace. Be very careful if you have to kind of adjust the wig around, because it can loosen up some of the hairs and end up pulling some hairs out of the ponytail. So just very slowly kind of loosen it to where you need it. I also needed to pull it back down in the back a little bit because it was up a little too high in the ponytail, so I just very carefully pulled the back of the wig down, made sure none of the hairs fell out of the ponytail. But other than that, it's a really easy install. I just glue it to my head and just slightly adjust where I need it adjusted to properly fit my head. If you have a really small head like me, you might need a few bobby pins too, because sometimes I'll pin in like a crisscross motion to kind of keep any bulging of the lace that is too big for my head in the back. I'll keep it pinned down, that way it doesn't look like the back is bulging out at all. But other than that, I can move it around. It's up at a high enough spot for me. Again, some people like it higher, but this is high enough for me. And it's out of my way for when I work, or if I just want to do an updo style because I think it'll look better with an outfit, I'll do that too. But it's really that simple, just, you know, taking it in 2 sections instead of 1. And then putting it in 2 ponytails, and then taking a big scrunchie and putting it together. It's really pretty simple for me. If there's any other ways you guys can think of to do this, definitely let me know down below. I'll try those too. But this is always the way I've done it. It's just the easiest way to do it. I've really never had a problem with it. It takes a little bit of extra work, but it's worth it if I want my hair up. But that's it. This is all I gotta do. And that's everything for this video. If you guys liked it, maybe give a like, maybe subscribe so I can see you in my other videos. And this is it for me today. I'll see you in my next video.